well as in India. I also like to thank Mr. Sajid, Anup, Ms. Agrawal for this IBMC platform, providing where UAE industries as well as Indian industries are taking help how to do businesses in both the territories. So thank you all. Whatever topic I am going to do is the UAE governance, challenges and solutions. This is a little practical type of topic, where we need to see the governance aspects of the business, and especially SMEs. As we know how we will go ahead, first we will understand SMEs. I understand here everybody knows SMEs are because everyone is entrepreneur, businessman, or working somewhere. So I will just refresh your learning once again so that we can get further insight in the SME sector here in UAE and India. My focus will be specifically governing SME in UAE, how these companies are running and what are the challenges these are facing and what solution we can have. So first we need to understand the SMEs, what these are actually. Somewhere it is called SMEs, small medium enterprises. In some territory it is micro, small medium enterprises. So according to World Bank report, SMEs play a major role in most economies, particularly developing countries. These generally large industries are in developed countries. So developing countries like Indian continent, sub-area, and Africa, and this region is coming under developing, and SMEs are playing very, very vital role. These are engine of growth, I can say. Around 365 to 445 million companies are there in these regions. I will not go in detail because I hope these presentations will be on this website of IBMC, so where you can get further details. We will discuss how these important things are. So first we also think about the definitions. Many reasons people see how to define SMEs because there is no particular definition for small medium enterprises. It depends upon territory-wise, country-wise, association-wise. So European Union first come up with a definition of the SMEs, how it can be defined. Then US has its some certain definitions. Indian parts, it have defined in different way. So like that, it depends upon your manpower structure, then it depends upon turnover, somewhere it depends upon investment, how much you invested. So like the SME is defined. If you'll see from developed countries like USA, Australia, or European Union, they defined it on the basis of manpower employed in an industry. Like if it is in Australia, 1 or 2 people are employed, then it can be under micro. Similarly, USA, 1 to 6, then European Union below 10. Similarly, for the small, 15 to 50, and for medium, in USA it is the highest, up to 500 people if you employ, then also it is treated as medium enterprises. Instead of European Union 250, and in some region it is 200. Definition of SMEs in India. SME in India defined by Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises Development Act 2006. This act has been incorporated to define and help these micro, small, medium enterprises. Now it is further amendments is going on where the investment criteria be increased. It has 2 criteria, manufacturing and service enterprises. So for what will be in India it is not only manpower, it's on ceilings of investments. So the investment, how much you have done, based upon that your industry will be categorized. Whether it is micro, falls into micro, small or medium. Basically now we are in UAE, so we have to see how UAE defines SMEs. For the UAE, SMEs are the backbone of the growth, I can say. Here, as per this statistics center, Abu Dhabi Statistics Center, they defined one definition for SME, which is adopted by the Executive Council of Emirates of Abu Dhabi, and under which the employees working are micro industries are those where it is less than 5, then small industries where it is less than 20, so equal to or up to 19, they are coming under small. If it is up to 49, means less than 50, then it is coming under medium. And if it is more than 50, then industry is coming under large. So this is definition for Abu Dhabi. In UAE also, as we know, this is the M7 Emirates consist here, but mainly the biggest Emirates, Abu Dhabi, which is the capital of UAE, then the Dubai. Dubai SME is further developed. Even the Dubai government has specifically make one department under Dubai SME. It is known as a Dubai SME, which is a part of development of economic department, Dubai government. So they define more precisely about this SME. So they define it under trading, manufacturing, and service sectors. First, they put 3 criteria. So SMEs in trading sectors, SMEs in manufacturing sectors, and SMEs in services sector. And they not only considered employees number, manpower, they also considered the investment, how much investment a company is making in the terms of turnover, or how much its turnover is there, means how much business they are generating with the employees. So by this, you can see the definitions. Micro, for trading, it is less than equal to 9. But for service sector, if it is less than equal to 20, then it is also considered as a micro. Similarly, for small, if it is a trading company, it will be having less than equal to 35 employees, it will be treated as small. But if it is service or manufacturing, then it should be up to 100. So these are the definitions provided by this SME Dubai government. It further, they have some studied research and do some study. By that, they come out that almost 95% of the total enterprise in Dubai is from SME. You see how big the chunk is. So maximum companies here are the SMEs only, small and medium enterprises. And they employ almost 42% of the labor force here. We know here maximum expatriates are working, and out of that, or total workforce what we have, it's up to 40%, 42%. And contribution of SMEs in the value of Dubai government is 40%. So out of 100%, 40% trades or economy is generated through these SMEs. So we can assume, or we can see how best SMEs are contributing and what will be the future for this. Again, recent, there is development in SME as a UAE government. They issued one cabinet resolutions, number 22 in 2016, which sets definition of SME for the purpose of UAE law, which will govern complete UAE law. So we need not to be confused, because there are different definitions coming up, one for Abu Dhabi, one for Dubai Emirates, and one for overall UAE government, which is coming through these resolutions. But if we see, maximums are almost in the same range, like employees-wise and investment-wise, like 5 employees or 3 million annual revenues under micro for trading sector, whereas 5 employees or 2 million annual revenues for service sector. And actually this make, little simpler. In earlier we saw that the trading and service sector, there is a gap of number of employees. But this resolutions passed by UAE government, they make it more, similar category-wise definitions. And after that, they also constituted one SME council, which will review this after every 3 years. So in 16, suppose it is reviewed and definition has been made. After 3 years, this council will review what is the scope, how it is developing. Then they will again define this SME once again. And maybe this limitation will increase or decrease basis the study. So we can see size-wise business establishment in Dubai, where micros is 72%, and sector-wise split of SME in Dubai is 57% in trading. So this have very, very big chunk. We have many small, micro or medium industries which are playing role here and contributing a lot for the development of this region as well as UAE. UAE is giving big priority. Now the government is also realizing fact that yes, SME is going to play a vital role in this sector on the development of this Emirates or in these regions or everywhere where they are. So they have planned that till now the 60% contribution is going to be 70% by the 2021. So they have some one is coming up 2020 Expo, through which they have already issued somewhere that the maximum procurement will be through SME, at least 10%. They reserved also for SME categories 10% procurement should be through SME sector, small and medium enterprises. So similarly, they have 2021 plan through which they want to develop SME sector more strong for the development of these countries. Now we will talk about the governance of SMEs. Governance is very important part, and everyone know that how important it is, because unless you govern any business, whether it is micro, small or medium, then it will be difficult to run in a long run and get profitability for that. Okay, if you are one-man company or one-man business professions, then it's not much matter. But if you are increasing your strength, then you need to have proper governance. So for that, there are federal law number 2, which is specially for SME. This UAE has specifically designed these laws, which is governing this SME in these regions. And in this law, there is always updates. Wherever required, the government sits, they review, and they update these laws. They already, like I earlier told, they have SME Council which will review after 3 years how to develop further in this. So for governance, what is the main thing? What we require governance? Governance is what? Governance is how you are running the business. So if you are running the business, you need to be compliant. There are legal laws. Laws are everywhere applicable. You need to incorporate first, so you need to follow the commercial laws, company law here. Then the federal rules are here, which issue different laws which you need to comply. Then if you are going to take licenses, there are some licensing authorities which you need to take first license and then you incorporate and run the organization or business. Labor law, employment law. Here you are working maximum expatriate, so immigration law. You need to comply with environment, health and safety law. Then municipality and local laws, a lot of approval you need to take from the municipalities. Then customs, of course, taxation is also coming. VAT is coming from January 2018. So now tax law is also coming in this region, and it is going to be playing a very vital role for the economy. And it is also one change, this all happening from the change because these economies are where maximum based upon the oil. Now it's going to, other parts like tourism, manufacturing, trading, and all these things are going to play vital roles in the development of economy. So when these are coming apart, World Bank is coming, money is required, so they need governance, they need tax, they need revenue, they need surety, yes, some incomes are coming. And so for that, if those things are coming, we need lot of legal framework where we need to comply. For this is the reason that is the KYC requirement increasing day by day. The people who are working here, they are facing a lot of issues in KYC requirements. Banks are asking so much. Although they are telling you, okay, we are going to liberalize a lot of things. But in practical, we are facing a lot of issues in KYC requirements. Because earlier they asked only one level, now they are going to 3, 4, 5 level till they reach the ultimate beneficiary owner of the fund or investor who is going to be the real investor of any organizations. So promoting importance of corporate governance. Corporate governance is a very big word I can say. It's running around the corporate sectors. Corporate governance. We need to put the corporate governance. What is that corporate governance? The corporate governance is nothing but a tools in the hand of management through which you govern the business in such a way that it will achieve its objectives, it will earn you revenue, it will safeguard the society, it will protect the interest of the stakeholders. So for that, the UAE government is also working accordingly. And with the help of Hakma Institute, who is the one corporate governance institute here, they helped SME Dubai to framework one corporate governance code. They have given 9 rules. They have given 9 major points which will be included in the corporate governance for SMEs, and companies are supposed to incorporate this in their ruling requirement. If you want to run a business, better you should go through these corporate governance standards. Like first, adopt formal corporate governance framework. What it mean? It means you have clear vision and business plan. What you are going to do, what is your business, who all will be your customer, which geography you are going to run the organizations. Then clear roles of directors and managers. You need to have board of directors or managers who all are assigned. Maybe if it is very small, you may not need, but yes, you need to have clear defined role and responsibilities. Conduct, then conduct of succession planning process. This is very important aspects for this region particularly, where the family-owned businesses are running too much. We are still see the family owners who has started in first stage, they are still running the business, and now it's very difficult to come to the second generation and third generations, and then continuing on. So for that, succession planning need to be made in such a way that it's smoothly run your organizations. Then you need to have established a timely and open flow of informations. Informations are very much important. How sometimes we feel here lack of transparency, but if you have to implement corporate governance, you need to govern the MSMEs properly. You need to have proper flow of communications. The communications flow from the top to the bottom. Similarly, it should happen from the bottom to the top it goes. Like the management, like the board of directors, if they communicate any policy, they want to communicate, then the execution level, ground level should also have same information what is the top level. So that we need to ensure how it will be possible. Set up a formal board of directors by clearly defining the rules, their role, their responsibilities, their accountabilities, how they are going to manage the policies, how they are going to act on given situations. It should be properly defined. And provide them support as well. As many times it happens, okay, you have board of directors, but they are teethless. Means there is no power to the board of directors. Whatever the owner will tell, board has to, yes, they have to sign and execute the things. No, when you are making the board of directors, you give them authority, you give them power, you give them vision, because those are the people who are going to be the responsible. Earlier, this Companies Act here was not having such requirement, but recently when the Companies Act changed in 2015 and coming effect from 2016 already in place, they have given clearly inserted a clause that manager or board of directors are responsible for the company's business, and they are liable. Earlier there is no such liability clauses are there, but now these Companies Acts are also making. Although in India and or other jurisdictions like European Unions and UK, we have the liabilities to the board of directors, which was not here, but now it's coming in place. Now it is here. Your memorandum should have clearly defined, and it states that yes, the general manager or the board of director is responsible for its act or for his act. So by this way, liability is coming. So the board of directors need power. They need transparency. They need authority. So how it come? You need to give clear mandate to the board. Then maintain a credible book of accounts. This is very, very important things, because the book of accounts, you need to adopt a good standard, framework, accounting standard, international accounting standard, which is acceptable to all. Like SMEs, why they are facing problem in getting fund? Because they have not maintained proper book of accounts. Bank will ask you, okay, give us 3 years financial statements. If you have not maintained proper financial statements, you are not going to get any funding from the banks. So books are, your credit worthiness. They will, yes, these SMEs are working very properly, and they have book of accounts, and now they can show anybody. Although here the requirement is not there, you need not have to file annual accounts to any authority, but it will come slowly in place when governance is coming. But as your knowledge, as your control, you should have your book of accounts proper, and it should be audited by a good auditing firm. Similarly, set up an internal control. internal control framework is very much important for SMEs. And because, internal control, why required? How your processes, how your system is working, who is going to see whether it is achieving its objective or not? This will, if you have internal control proper in place, you will be able to find out, yes, everything is all right, everything is in place. Similarly, recognize the needs of stakeholders. There are many stakeholders, shareholders, investors, bankers, your employees, outsiders, society as a large, everybody is a stakeholder. So you need to also have some policies to take care of their interest. Formulate a family governance framework. This is especially for the family-owned business. They need to make a governance framework, how it will go from first generation to second or second to third. So these are some guidelines issued by the SMEs. I will just make it little fast. I know people are feeling hungry. So now the challenges, what are the challenges? Like many of our friends earlier discussed, for SMEs, first challenge is getting funds. So their KYC requirements and all these things are now very lengthy process. So that is one challenge. Then organizational structure and complexities, dearth of clarity, then organization values, visions, lack of support from the regulators, lengthy decision-making processes, lack of accountability. These are few challenges. You may face more challenges in real practical life when you are going to organizations. Like logistic supports, you will not find the communications, methodology, discussions, or policy access, all these things. So what are the solutions? We are running the organizations. We have incorporated a company. We have incorporated a SME. So we have some solutions also. We need to find out, okay, challenges are there, but solutions are also there. First, you to have a vision or your missions. Clearly indicating, okay, what we are going to do, what is our mission, what is statement. Then clearly define objectives, like MOA is the, memorandum is the part where you define objective, what business we are going to do. So if problems are there, solution is always there. If your MOA defines some other activities and you are going to start other business, there will be always problem. So your objectives should be really clearly defined. Proper documentation should be there, risk assessment and mitigation should be there. Then training and development of your staff, organization, peoples is much important. Ensure adherence. Whatever you do, please make sure that it's continuing process. It should follow the rules, regulations, policies, standards. Then you can run smoothly your organizations. And of course, teamwork, because the teamwork makes the dream work. So you need to follow all these principles. Another thing I will just